Okay, imagine this. You wake up in the morning, roll out of bed, and oh wait, there is no bed. There's no floor. There isn't even a front yard because your entire house is dangling 30 meters above the ground, swaying in the wind like a hammock the size of a school bus. Yep, welcome to Papua, where there's an actual tribe that spends their whole lives up in the trees. Not just treehouse for fun like kids in the suburbs, this is life, no ground required. Cooking? In the trees. Sleeping? In the trees. Having babies? Yep, still in the trees. Even funerals. Whole cradle to grave package deal suspended above the jungle. And here's me, dumb rabbit, who almost cries every time I have to climb on a chair to change a light bulb. Meanwhile, these people are casually living in what's basically a skyscraper made of sticks. I'm just a dumb rabbit, but even I know this flips everything we think about home upside down. Why would anyone do this? How do you even build a 40-foot treehouse without Home Depot and YouTube tutorials? And what happens when your kid decides to play tag near the edge? Spoiler, no trampoline waiting below. Stick with me, because today we're hopping straight into the jungle canopy to explore one of the wildest lifestyles humans have ever invented, a community that almost never touches the ground. So, here's the million-carat question. Why would anyone trade the ground for life in the sky? I mean, most of us freak out if the Wi-Fi signal drops 1 bar, but these folks looked at the forest floor and said, nope, hard pass, we're moving up. First reason? Danger. Papua's rainforests are basically nature's version of hard mode. Down below, you've got crocodiles, snakes, and enough insects to start their own army. Building your house 30 meters above the ground is like hitting the skip boss fight button. Wild boar charging at you? Sorry, buddy, no elevator. Second, floods. Papua gets slammed with rainstorms, and the rivers swell faster than me stuffing my face with carrots at an all-you-can-eat buffet. Imagine building a house on the ground only to have it washed away every rainy season. Up in the trees, you're high, dry, and chillin' with the clouds. Third, and maybe the spiciest reason, other humans. For centuries, tribes in Papua sometimes clashed with rivals. If your enemies are down there, the smartest move is to take the high ground, literally. Think Star Wars. It's over, Anakin. I have the high ground. Except here, it's not lightsabers, it's spears, and nobody wants to be the guy storming a 30-meter ladder under a hail of arrows. And here's the kicker. Living in trees wasn't just survival, it was strategy. From up top, you can see the jungle like a living map. You spot animals moving, rivers flooding, even strangers approaching. It's like installing a 360-degree security camera only made of branches and sweat. Meanwhile, me, I get winded climbing 3 flights of stairs. These people are casually redefining what living above it all really means. All right, so let's talk construction. These aren't your backyard 2 planks and a ladder treehouses. Nope. What we're looking at are massive, skyscraper-level wooden fortresses balanced on branches the size of buses. Some of them soar up to 30 or even 40 meters above the ground. That's higher than a 10-story building. Basically, treehouse meets high-rise apartment, except the architect is just people with stone tools and ropes made from plants. The materials? All local. Giant logs hauled from the forest, tied together with rattan vines that are stronger than half the duct tape in my drawer. The roofs? Palm leaves layered so tightly that even monsoon rains can't break through. It's not just DIY, it's DIY, is this still standing? But it works. Some structures last decades without collapsing, and the way they build them is even more insane. Imagine balancing on a narrow branch 30 meters up, hammering logs together without nails. No safety harness, no Home Depot hard hats, just sheer skill, teamwork, and nerves of steel. I trip walking on flat ground, and these people are basically parkour construction workers. Now, don't picture a cozy one-room shack either. These homes can be huge, big enough to fit an entire family, sometimes up to a dozen people. They'll have several separate areas for cooking, sleeping, and storing food. Smoke from the cooking fires drifts out through the leaf roof, giving the whole thing this hazy, magical vibe, like a jungle penthouse with built-in fog machine. And here's the wildest part. Some houses are so tall, the people inside actually feel the building sway in the wind. For them, it's normal. For me, I'd be clutching the floor praying to the carrot gods. But hey, this design isn't random. The flexibility helps the structure survive storms instead of snapping like a toothpick. It's literally anti-earthquake engineering discovered by trial and error. So yeah, forget Airbnb treehouses. These are Tree B&B Ultra Deluxe Sky Suites, complete with panoramic jungle views, zero rent, and a built-in leg workout just to get home. Alright, so you've got your sky-high penthouse, but what's it like to actually live there? Spoiler, it's not like a weekend camping trip. This is daily life, cradle to grave, all happening 30 meters above the ground. First up, the basics. Eating and cooking. Families build small hearths right inside their tree houses. Firewood gets hauled up by hand, and yes, they literally cook over open flames on a platform swaying in the wind. Talk about multitasking, grilling dinner while balancing like a tightrope walker. Meanwhile, I nearly set off the smoke alarm microwaving popcorn. I'm just a dumb rabbit. Sleeping? Mats and blankets woven from leaves and bark keep them warm, and surprisingly, it's cozy. Imagine falling asleep with the sound of jungle birds and wind rustling the canopy. Sounds peaceful until you remember you're basically suspended in midair with nothing but gravity waiting below. Kids? They don't just survive this lifestyle, they thrive. From the time they can walk, they're already learning to climb. Rope ladders, tree trunks, vines, it's like a jungle gym on expert mode. While most kids are learning how to ride a bike, these kids are casually hopping between branches like mini Tarzans. Falling? Rare, because when you grow up with the treehouse as your world, your balance turns superhuman. And life events? All in the trees. Weddings? Held in the air. Births? Mothers give birth inside those lofty homes, with family gathered close. Funerals? Yup, also conducted up high, with rituals that honor both their ancestors and the forest below. It's not just a house, it's a complete ecosystem of culture. What about playtime? Kids turn the treetops into their playground, chasing each other along beams and vines. To them, it's normal. To me, it looks like a constant episode of Ninja Warrior Jungle Edition. Food storage is clever too. Smoke from cooking fires dries meat and keeps bugs away. High elevation also means fewer pests, no rats stealing your dinner. Honestly, it's like nature's refrigerator. And community life? These aren't isolated tree houses. They're clustered, forming a sky village. People call out across branches, visit neighbors using makeshift rope bridges, and share meals. Imagine your whole neighborhood floating in the canopy, with gossip traveling faster than Wi-Fi. But daily life isn't without risk. Strong winds or storms make the houses sway dramatically. To us, that's terrifying. To them, it's Tuesday. It's all about adaptation. What looks impossible to outsiders is just life as usual. So yeah, while we're down here complaining about slow elevators, these people are living an entire existence above the ground, safe, social, and surprisingly sustainable. Honestly, it makes my own busy city life feel like amateur hour. Now here's where things get really fascinating. Living in the trees isn't just about survival, it's become the foundation of an entire culture. Every ritual, every tradition, every big life event is tied to the canopy. Take weddings, for example. Forget churches, beaches, or fancy banquet halls. In these Papuan tribes, the ceremony happens high above the ground in a house built by the groom's family. It's not just symbolic, it's practical too. A strong, well-built treehouse proves the groom can provide for his new family. No treehouse, no bride. Imagine Tinder profiles reading hobbies, fishing, hunting, constructing 30-meter skyscrapers out of logs. Swipe right? Then there are coming-of-age rituals. For boys, climbing to extreme heights or building parts of a treehouse can mark the passage into adulthood. It's like earning your driver's license, except instead of parallel parking, you're hanging logs 50 feet above the jungle floor. And honestly, I'd still fail both tests. Spiritual life is just as deeply rooted in the canopy. Many tribes believe the forest itself is alive, with spirits dwelling in the trees. Living closer to the sky is seen as living closer to the ancestors and to the divine. To them, the canopy isn't just a home, it's sacred ground, or rather, sacred not ground. Even funerals reflect this worldview. The deceased are honored within the treetop homes, with ceremonies that keep their spirits close to the living community. Some traditions involve symbolic gestures that release the spirit into the sky, reinforcing that life and death are both part of this vertical world. And of course, there are festivals, communal feasts, dances, and storytelling sessions all held up in the trees. Picture entire families gathered in a treehouse village, drums beating, fires glowing, the jungle night alive with music and laughter. Honestly, it sounds like the coolest block party ever, if the block was 30 meters up and made of branches. What blows my little rabbit brain is how natural all this feels to them. While outsiders look up and see danger, they see identity, community, and connection. Their culture isn't just adapted to the trees, it's inseparable from them. Meanwhile, I still panic climbing a ladder to change a ceiling light. These people, they're throwing weddings in the sky like it's nothing. Respect. Of course, life in the treetops isn't all sunshine and panoramic views. There are real challenges, and some of them are downright scary. First, the obvious, gravity. A slip, a broken branch, or even just a careless step can be fatal. For outsiders like me, climbing one of these ladders would feel like a near-death experience. For them, it's Tuesday. Still, even the most skilled climber isn't immune to accidents. The higher the house, the greater the risk. Then there's the weather. Papua is famous for its brutal storms. Imagine your whole house swaying violently in the wind, rain pounding the roof, thunder shaking the sky. For the treehouse tribes, this is just another night. The flexible design actually helps, but still, living inside what feels like a giant wooden swing during a monsoon takes nerves of steel. And the future? That's where things get complicated. Modern influences are creeping in. Roads are being built, schools and markets are pulling younger generations down to ground level. Some kids dream of city jobs instead of building houses in the canopy. Slowly, the treetop lifestyle is fading, replaced by modern houses on solid earth. It's a bittersweet shift. On one hand, access to medicine, education, and opportunities can save lives and improve well-being. On the other, a culture that survived for centuries, literally above the ground, is at risk of disappearing. Will future generations still carry on the tradition of sky villages, or will it become just another chapter in a history book? As for me, I can't help but hope at least some of these incredible treehouses remain. They're not just homes, they're proof of human adaptability, creativity, and straight-up bravery. And they remind us that normal life is only normal because of where we grew up. So, what does it all mean? These treetop tribes in Papua prove something incredible. Humans can adapt to almost anything. While the rest of us are stressing about traffic jams, rent, or whether pineapple belongs on pizza, there are entire communities living full, rich lives 30 meters above the ground, cooking, raising families, celebrating, grieving, all without ever really touching the earth. It's not just survival, it's culture, it's architecture, spirituality, community, and identity, woven together in a lifestyle that feels impossible to outsiders, yet perfectly natural to them. Honestly, it makes me rethink what home even means. And here I am, dumb rabbit, struggling just to water a plant without killing it. These people are building skyscrapers out of wood while I'm out here losing a battle with a cactus. I'm just just a dumb rabbit. But even I know this is one of the wildest, most inspiring ways humans have ever lived. So hop along with me, smash that like button, subscribe for more weird science and wild cultures, and drop a comment about whether you could handle living your entire life in the trees. Because me, I'd fall before breakfast.